Hello and welcome to the Live Free, Live Rich 2022 recap, and also perhaps I'll touch upon some 2023 New Year's resolutions for the brand. First and foremost, I'd like to say that, I think that it's important that we take a little bit of time just to look back, reflect where we started in the beginning of the year, where we ended up at the end of the year, and kind of track those milestones, if you will, because sometimes it might be hard to realize just how far you've come. Most of the time, because the things that you do seem small in the moment, but over time it actually amounts to quite a bit, which is what I realized when putting together this the stats for this video. So, without further ado, first I want to talk about publication and productions. First, we'll start with writing. I say publications because these are just pieces of writing that I published this year. Not all the writing that was published this year, because I do have some pieces to talk about under a different category, but these are specifically pieces that were published under the Live Free, Live Rich brand name. So I published 8 editorials. 8. They're opinion pieces, critique pieces. It's from a series that I call Indie Breakdowns, and I read these indie books and then I write an editorial on the book itself. Let's check out the editorials that I published this year. This doesn't account for everything that I read throughout the year, because I don't write an editorial on everything I read. These are just 8 pieces that I published on the blog. And I also published 2 vignettes, which is basically free to read, kind of samples of my writing that people can go to the website www.livefreeliverich.com. You can go up to entertainment, and under entertainment you'll see there's a little subcategory called vignettes. You can click on that and check out samples of my writing. Now let's move on to video productions. That was a big part of where a lot of my effort went this year. In total, I uploaded 110 video productions. Now this includes shorts and this includes promo vids. But I did, however, do 4 special Live Free, Live Rich video presentations. Now let's take a look at what some of those were. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Hi, my name's Jonathan Rossignol, and this is the Super Duper Author Tuber tag video. But first, coffee. The world, as we know it, is fiction. And now, on top of that, what I also started doing this year that I've never done in previous years was live streaming. Yes, that's right. I started doing live streaming this year. At first it was a little bit like trying to like just figure out like, okay, for one, how do I live stream? Because I never did live stream before. So getting used to some new tools and the platform itself. And then once I kind of started getting the hang of it, I'm like, okay, well then I began to kind of conceptualize like, okay, how can I turn this into a thing? Like I didn't want to just do live streams where I just go on camera and I'm just basically just kind of sitting there, like not really doing much of anything. I'm always like wanting to offer some kind of substance to my viewers or to my audience. And also not make it feel as though I'm kind of like, not necessarily wasting my time. I want it to make it so it's kind of like evergreen. And when I do a live stream, I'm offering some kind of substance, so there's a reason to go back and watch previous live streams in the catalog. So I wanted to kind of build up a portfolio. So I came up with the idea of the Monday Night Live show. So this past year was actually my first time doing live streams in any kind of regular format whatsoever. So it's definitely been a huge learning curve for me, and I'm glad to have seen that some of you have found value in what it is that I'm doing here and kind of hopped on board, and you guys have made me realize that this is something that is important. This is something that is significant. So I will be continuing the live streams into 2023. Now, before we get into what we're going to do for 2023, let's take a look back and see all that has been accomplished with the live stream in 2022. So first and foremost, let's go down the list. Here's just a snapshot of what has happened during the live stream in 2022. 40 shows were produced. We produced 40 shows, believe it or not. Started a little bit later in the year. It is going to be, as far as the Monday night live stream goes, we will have the full calendar year for 2023 scheduled. I don't plan on taking any Mondays off. I am dedicated to making sure that I am here for you guys each and every single week at the same time. What else do we do? We used the live stream to kind of spotlight and discover some BookTube and AuthorTube channels. That's right. Giving some shout outs. This is something that I would like to do more of in the future. Maybe start a whole new segment just dedicated to just that. We had some featured videos on here. So from those BookTube and AuthorTube channels, if you guys recall, I engaged in some BookTube tag videos. So those were fun. And I think it's just another way of being able to kind of collaborate and get to know some other creators. We covered some crowdfunding campaigns. So all comic books, they were Indiegogo crowdfunding campaigns for some comic books. And mind you, each and every single one of those campaigns that I covered did fulfill their goals. I'm not saying that I played a huge role in making that happen, but nevertheless, I'm just stating it as a matter of fact. So I did share several special book deals with you guys, including free. And then, of course, I launched the Discord server. Yes, you guys know all about that already. Don't need to say anymore. Moving right along. So here are the fun stats. More than 36 writers had their work read live on the air. That's right. And I would like to do more live reading. So for those of you out there, if you run your own blog, specifically if you run your own blog, this is a good opportunity to get your blog a plug. So you can share some writing with me. It could be flash fiction, it could be poetry, it could be an article, essay, or even a review that you wrote, or like an editorial you wrote on somebody else's work. I could read that as well. And also, I would also like to note here that any of you, if you've ever had your work featured on the show, I do keep
all the live streams up on the channel. So you can go ahead, and you have my permission to go ahead, download the stream if you want, and you can actually edit the stream however you please. If you want to clip out, like say there's a segment where your work is featured during the show, like if I do a live reading, or if you want to clip out the part where I'm talking about your book or something like that, you can do so. You have my permission. And if you want to drop me, a shout out, whether by name or you want to link my website, that would be greatly appreciated. And last but not least, the biggest number and what I am most proud of, and kind of one of the reasons, one of the main driving forces behind the Monday Night live stream is over 140 plus independently published books mentioned on the show. That's huge. And this isn't just a little like, oh, by the way, this book came out and that's it. Like, no, these are 140 plus books that were given the time of day, in anywhere from between 5 to 10 minutes per title, reading the blurb, showing off the book cover, maybe saying a few words about it, getting the first impressions. This is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from straight up just saying, buy their book, but really it's just about raising awareness. So for me, it's always a pleasure to see what I get from the publishers, because I never know what I'm going to get from the indie scene. Now let's talk about Monday Night Live for 2023. I am making some upgrades around here. You guys may see some new layouts as far as the visuals go. Maybe I'll try to spice it up a little bit for you guys, make it a little bit more visually pleasing. But what I would like to do in terms of goals is I would like to get more guests on the show, or visitors, because this is the Hangout stream after all. I want to continue to come up with, maybe some new segments, different ways of using this platform to kind of have creative collaboration. And I put maybe I will do special events. Now that's going to depend on you guys, really. There needs to be more. The reason why I say maybe is because in order for me to do special events, I need more engagement. There needs to be more people, not just the numbers wise. I just mean participation wise, like real people showing up, showing they care, and wanting to be a part of this thing. And then at which point, then it will be more interesting that way. You know what I mean? When I put on a special event, and it's more than just maybe 2 or 3 people, entering into the special event, it could actually turn it into a fun competition of sorts.
Now, another one of my New Year's resolutions for 2022 was to start doing more networking and start reaching out, making opportunities available for my peers in the creative sphere, start reaching out to other folks and doing submissions and getting involved with projects that other people or third parties may have going on, and start begin to collaborate with other people within the scene and start building up a network. And there was a few different ways that I started doing that last year, one of which those of you may be familiar with. I launched the Storytellers Society, which is a side project that I started in 2022. And I actually did have 3 people submit writing to that project. I'm very appreciative of those individuals, and let's check out who they are and what it is that they submitted now. So another way that I was kind of collaborating and reaching out to people was through featured media. So I actually have quite a few things to talk about this year, and this is probably one that I'm most proud of because I actually feel like I made some valuable connections this year and met some pretty cool people while doing so.
So anytime that I'm featured on a third-party website or anything like that, I write up a press release and I publish it on the website. So if you go to the website, livefreeliverich.com, here on the home page, you can just click over to the Networks tab. In the Networks tab, you can scroll down, go to Featured Media, and then this at the bottom here is all the press releases from 2022. Now let's start with the first one. I had a vignette that was featured on the Lemoyne Challenge. Yes, my vignette, Double Agent Retiree, first appears as an entry to the Lemoyne Challenge. And it was read aloud on February 3rd, 2022 by Ian Kirkpatrick on her YouTube channel. And this is the video, Should We Give Up on Love? So you can check that out if you're interested. And what else did I do? Yes, I had an essay published. In this one, my essay entitled The Choice Is Yours was published by A Thin Slice of Anxiety, link below, on March 21st, 2022. This was an essay that I wrote on free will versus determinism. And A Thin Slice of Anxiety is a blog run by Cody Sexton. And of course, here's the link to that right there if you guys are interested in reading that one. Moving right along, I had I had a piece of flash fiction on July 9th, 2022. I had a piece of, this is an unpublished piece of flash fiction of mine that was featured during a live broadcast called AuthorTube After Dark on YouTube, a now defunct live stream show. I mean, that's kind of the chance you take when you collaborate within the indie scene. People tend to come and go sometimes, but yeah, nevertheless, still count as a documented collaboration. And then finally, the biggest one for 2022, people I did the most work with, and that is actually didn't have anything to do with writing at all. Had to do with voice acting. That's right. I was kind of trying to broaden my creative horizons, if you will. And I made my voice acting debut on the web series Doorway to Nightmare on August 19th, 2022. The show is produced as a serialized full production audio drama, with each episode featuring a new story with a fresh cast of characters played by voice actors. Doorway to Nightmare is a mystery thriller series written by Winslow Swan and edited by Crimson McKenzie. And I actually created a little spreadsheet here. So this press release gets updated every time I am featured in a new episode in the series. So I have a complete catalog of everything that I've done with that series on this press release. So those were all my features for 2022. And here's to more collaborations in 2023.
Now, moving forward, let's talk about 2023 and how it pertains to the Live Free, Live Rich brand. For 2023, I do have some writing projects that are in the works, and it's too early. The stage that they're in right now, it's too early to say anything as far as when I'm going to start publishing more premium work for you guys. As of right now, the Codex Inferni Complete Volume 1 is still available on Kindle. I finished up the limited edition, was all said and done. For those of you who got in on the paperback, snagged yourself a paperback, kudos to you. When I'm going to start Volume 2, I don't have an exact date of when I'm going to start releasing short stories from Volume 2, but it is planned. So that is something to look forward to. Now, serialized fiction is another thing. I've been kicking around the idea of starting a serialized fiction series, and that would be one particular genre, and that is, I'll say right now, sword and sorcery. That's right. I am thinking about starting a sword and sorcery serialized fiction series. Now, when this is going to be done or any other further announcements, I can't guarantee it's going to be in 2023, but I am beginning to brainstorm and put together some ideas. So that's about it with Live Free, Live Rich. I'm going to continue to focus on developing the storyteller, promoting the Storyteller Society. So for those of you who want to get involved with that, it's still open submissions as of right now. Also, I think that this year I am going to one thing I'm going to start leaning more heavily into is networking. I really would like to build up the platform, not in terms of numbers, mind you. Hence, why you have not heard me talk about any numbers that have anything to do specifically with the channel or subscriber counts or anything like that, because that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the engagement. I want to make real connections, not with AI, not with the algorithm, with real people, my peers, if you will, within the creative sphere, and also readers. So those of you who read and you do critiques or you do book reviews, you very much play a significant role in this whole thing as we move forward. So you folks as well. Now, the idea of getting involved in book clubs is something that I might do. If it's an indie, say for instance, a exclusively indie book club, I might be interested in doing something like that as a way of kind of like meeting new people and getting involved with what other people have going on. I don't necessarily have the time to be able to invest effort into building up a book club from scratch. I will, however, continue to promote the Discord, and if you have a book club, you can share that in the Discord and let me know, and I may actually be inclined to become a part of a book club that other people are running themselves, and you guys are organizing it, and I can just kind of jump in, read the book, and then if you do, for instance, like live stream discussions or something like that, I can contribute in that way and being a part of the conversation in that way. And I think that's probably what my plans are. My big plans for 2023, to start leaning heavily into the networking side of the brand, start building up the platform, making more valuable connections. And if anything comes up in terms of my writing and publications, then I will obviously let you guys know throughout the year. I'll just kind of surprise you out of nowhere with a video. So thank you for tuning in and seeing where we're at. And I was quite surprised at just how much I did. Like 2022, just like for me, it just like flew by so fast. So I was very much surprised at just how much I was able to accomplish throughout the calendar year in terms of projects and everything. And just, it really goes to show, like if you just dedicate just a little bit of your time, every day, every other day, and just put in just a little bit of effort, and you have little victories here and there. All those little victories really stack up by the end of the year. So I would say, any advice for the rest of you, even if this serves as inspiration, to just say, don't fall into the trap of, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. Just do a little bit. Just do a little bit every day. I'm not saying you need to do word count goals. I'm not saying you have to do X amount of videos per week or anything like that. But just, if you have an idea, write it down and act upon it. Once it's written down, really conceptualize it. Take it to the next step. First step, have the idea. Second step, write it down. Third step, begin to kind of conceptualize it and kind of realize that idea and bring it into reality. Make it a reality. And then before you know it, you have like a whole catalog, a creative, you've expanded your creative portfolio, if you will. And that's what I plan on doing into the future, 2023, and into the future with Live Free, Live Rich. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on Monday. Now wait just a minute. We got one more thing to do. And if you're already familiar with this channel, then you already know what to do. And that is choose your path. That's right. As far as I'm concerned, my hand has been dealt, baby. So now it's up to you guys. On your left, we have the Rebel deck. On your right, you will see the Mythic deck. That's right. So, choose your path wisely and forever hold your peace.